Pavan, good morning.
Good morning.
Pavan, you are the EMEA leader
That's correct.
at Accenture for the Microsoft Alliance, and I would like to congratulate you. We have just announced that Accenture Avanade won the Partner of the Year award for
Thank you.
EMEA.
Thank you. And that's immensely fulfilling for me and my team. We've done a lot of marquee deals with Microsoft in cloud, in AI, in data, in biz apps, and security. And we've continued to incubate new areas like Agent 365 and then all the knowledge brain using Foundry IQ and all that. So this journey for me has been rewarding and most importantly passionate for all the work we do. And thank you to Samir, thank you to Ihab, Florian, Jordi, and entire EMEA leadership team at Microsoft for this fantastic partnership.
Well, it's certainly a recognition of the hard work over the past 12 months in the region. As you take a look at the next 12 months, how is this going to accelerate and transform the work that you do with Microsoft in the region?
Well, yes, there's a lot of new technologies that are coming in, which is Agent 360, and the whole knowledge brain that we are creating with Work IQ, Foundry IQ, and therefore the next partnership is going to be, implementing AI transformation using agentic AI. You start with Copilot, then get into low code, no code, and bring in the whole custom AI development. I think this space is very, very exciting for me. It is about working across the entire Microsoft stack for numerous clients of ours, and continue to be the market leader that we are, and more importantly, do future focused, amazing work with our clients jointly together.
And one of those areas is sovereign cloud.
That's correct.
It's top of mind in region, and it is an area where Accenture Avanade is differentiating. One of the most interesting things that I've seen recently is a research paper
Right.
that was published by your team. And what really struck me was the observation that sovereignty shouldn't just be about minimizing risk, but it can also drive value creation. How do you see organizations turning sovereignty into a strategic advantage and rather than just considering it a compliance exercise?
Yeah, I mean, 2 years back, if you ask anybody about sovereignty, they say it is about data residency, data security, data compliance, and with the invent of AI, you're seeing a lot of use cases for AI on sovereign cloud because essentially, if you want reliable AI, it's about making sure you've got the data and data quality right in a particular use case. And that becomes the driver. But then, from a political standpoint, many countries are embracing AI and seeing that they would not like to be left behind the AI race. Currently, if you look at the market, AI, US is leading the AI, technology with about 70%, you can say, and China is second. Many countries would like to kind of be part of this journey, and that is creating ambition to lead in AI in the space. So that is again driving sovereignty. And an important part for organizations and countries is they don't want to give the whole digital intelligence piece to somebody else. They would like to control it, and therefore that is another key driver that is driving. And then you have a lot of citizens who would like to get skilled in AI, and you've got a lot of value use cases that are coming in. So countries and enterprises are viewing sovereignty as a competitive advantage. Now, my analysis in the research paper points to about 60% of organizations today are looking at sovereignty as a very, very key priority area. And research analysts are also predicting 1 to 1.5 trillion markets. So this is something which is massive that we should not ignore.
So as you look at cloud sovereignty, sovereign AI is becoming a logical extension to sovereign cloud. And Accenture talks about moving from static compliance to dynamic governance across the full AI
Right.
stack. What does that shift mean for organizations in practice? And how does the Microsoft Cloud enable you and your clients to stay agile as regulations evolve?
So static, so earlier was, I'm going to design controls, I'm going to design, practices and security policies which are for today, but the environment is changing. And when you look at when you look at the ambition that sovereignty brings, and when you combine sovereign AI with sovereign cloud, then you need to look at full stack. And you should also design and architect a sovereign ecosystem which is adaptable and which can make sure it can bring in new regulations or new value cases for the future. So therefore, the architecture has to be quite flexible and agile to adapt the future requirements. And therefore, um, when you're architecting this dynamic sovereign cloud plus AI is what I like to call it. You need to look at a sovereign cloud foundation. You need to look at the AI patterns. You need to look at your industry accelerators. And then you need to look at the whole security, operations, and governance. And you need to look at all of this holistically and build an architecture which basically is future fit. And that's our point of view, to make sure you're not reinventing again and again.
Which industries in the EMEA region, which use cases are you seeing could benefit the most, have the greatest impact from sovereign cloud adoption?
I mean, you can say that the obvious ones, because government is involved in some way, is the public services. So whether it is delivering citizen services or whether it is delivering the whole safety aspect of citizens and defense, etc., those are the use cases which are in vogue today. But actually, when you expand that in financial services, for example, anti-money laundering is important. And from a for countries like in European Union, you need to have regulations which are complied to those particular geographies. So in financial services, the driver is more about regulation, and the use cases are in payments, are in anti-money laundering, and there it is about creating industry accelerators. But then health and life sciences is again important. The value is in genomics, it is in e-health services, and therefore, GDPR comes in, and privacy comes in for patient data, and how you can use patient data in a sovereign cloud environment to deliver value on the health side. So these are three or four industries, but you can see value coming in others as well, like telecoms and retail, etc.
We were discussing earlier Jevons paradox, where as the technology becomes more accessible, as it becomes more inexpensive and more available, adoption goes up.
Yeah,
So we may be in a situation where today sovereign cloud is seen as sort of a technology that's available to a few, but we may see in the future where it'll be available to the many, and we may see new use cases, new needs, new requirements coming up.
you're absolutely right. I think even for me, a personal journey, if you'd asked me 2 years back, Chips, I would say that, sovereign cloud means is basically making sure you've got an environment stacked up for data, and you've got a certain use cases that are relevant for this. But when with AI, it's ubiquitous, and what I see is every country, and AI is so powerful that every environment, every organization, every country would like to gain dominance. And as you rightly said, and the costs are going to come down, and we see that coming down. That this is going to be pervasive in 1 or 2 years time.
So, Pavan, a last question: how are Accenture and Microsoft partnering to deliver sovereign initiatives together in
Yeah.
the region?
So when we talked about the whole dynamic architecture, which includes sovereign cloud foundation, AI patterns, industry accelerators, and the whole security and governance and operations, we are using Microsoft technology for this full stack. So whether you talk about as your foundry, or whether you talk about Fabric, and you talk about security and Sentinel, so you basically use this technology that you have to first build capability on sovereign cloud with a reference architecture. And then we co-invest, and then this is what we are doing is we co-invest, we identify clients, and we identify industry priorities, and we go to market together. And this is how our partnership has evolved. We are borrowing all the best practices that we have done in cloud, and it's in Dynamics 365 and data and AI, and we just have to replicate the beautiful template onto sovereign cloud. And I think we'll drive success together.
Pawan, I would like to thank you so much for your partnership. over the past year. Yeah, and congratulate you on your Partner of the Year award. It is representative of the great work that we do together in region, and I look forward to doing more amazing things with you next year.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for the partnership. And thank you so much for the great work that we have done together. And looking forward to, a great year.